At Wanganui, he won the overall on the street circuit. You come to a track like this, that's almost, the complete opposite of what it's been like. 4 very different tracks so far for the Jigsaw Cup. Has he been a favourite for you?
I like Ruapuna and Wanganui. They're like tight.
They're the best, eh?
Yeah. Like a motocross track.
Yeah, like a motocross track. Yeah. Well done, Zach. You heading to Timaru next week?
Yeah, I'm heading down probably tomorrow, and then, yeah, do a bit of stuff down there. And
well done. So nice to see Zach Fuller, folks. These are our new kids on the block. So great to see as we take our lineup here and as we work our way through our results, and a good opportunity just to as we look for our podium, and with our 34 here, Thomas. Thomas, you're a bit of a star at Wanganui, but unfortunately it was a one-race wonder for you. But you come here to a track like this, very different to Wanganui. Did you enjoy it?
Oh yeah, I loved it. It was awesome. I've always wanted to ride at Ruapuna. So glad I could do it finally.
All right, indeed. How much different to Wanganui was it?
Wanganui was definitely a lot rougher, but yeah, it's still pretty bumpy here, but I like it, so suits my riding style, so yeah.
Right, tell us about being on these little bikes. You've got to start to work as much as the bike, don't you?
Yeah, well, it's definitely all comes down to skill with these, you know. But yeah, getting there.
Where do you want to end up with your racing?
Well, I would like to turn it into a career, but obviously a lot too early to say now, but yeah, that would be the dream for sure.
Right, how old are you?
20.
Well done. Do you think this is a good opportunity to start in our motorcycle sport?
Oh, definitely. It's a perfect opportunity.
Well done, Thomas Newton, everybody. Great to see. So, well done. Here. And to Tarbin. Big congrats, Tarbin. What's the idea of the detour over the side? You didn't want them getting any advantage on you, did you?
Oh, where was that, in the infield? Or on
the straight here?
Yeah, well, if you can run it a bit tighter and run it up there, hopefully they're running wide, and for at least the first little bit you can get rid of the slipstream.
Yeah, good to see. What about Ruapuna? Enjoyable for you?
Yeah, it's probably my favourite track in New Zealand because of the three podiums and pole, and also because of sort of the flowy track. I've come here once before on my bigger bike, so I sort of knew which way it went, but totally different ball game on the little bikes.
Right, what's for you during this week before Timaru?
Oh, I don't know, lots of sleeping, probably a beer this afternoon, and luckily no repairs.
See, hey, well done, congrats. So there you go, Tarbin taking it out, well done, and a fantastic Suzuki podium.
Rightio, folks, the final race of the weekend for the first round of the New Zealand Superbike Championships 2018. What a drama-filled weekend, a lot of crashes, a lot of dramas, and the odd injury, and great to have the Honda car there to be first on the scene and following round in the first lap. And right now we've got the shortened race, the Supersport 150 class, used to be called the development class, and it looks like Paul Skinner there on the 11 machine is out the front. We've got juniors and seniors there. They are age separated, whereas in the Post Classics they're called juniors seniors, but not about the age, it's about the Formula 1, Formula 2 bikes. The seniors are running red numbers, the juniors are running black numbers, so the 11 machine out in the front. Brett Cotton was up there earlier on too today and yesterday. I've still got to pick up the colours of a lot of these bikes because we did have Dean Watson in here commentating earlier on, so I took a chance to have a break and get some water and maybe a bit of food, and also the dark skies make it hard to pick up which bike's which, but plenty of fighting out in the front. We saw early leader yesterday, particularly Paul Skinner, get about 100 metres lead, but not having it all his own way as he sits in there in second place. Can you run a 250 Ninja in this class? Yes, you can. You've got the EX250, so it is 150 class, but it has 250 four-stroke twin cylinders in it. As you can see, the 150cc two-strokes are relatively well matched with the 250s at this track. Unfortunately, they're not following the rest of the New Zealand Superbike Championships this season. They did last year. Great gesture and support from Underground Brown, where he provided a truck where they squeezed up to 17 bikes, because remember, these guys and girls don't need tyre warmers or anything like that. But right now it is 86 followed by 11. That is 86 Chris Sutcliffe, 11 in second place. Paul Skinner there goes through in second. We're looking for third place on the screen. Philip Lowe, and the fastest man on the track, a 2-minute 5:75 compared with the 2:01. But that is lap 1, and he might have come further off the start line on another grid position. And what that means is he actually might be up to a few kilometres an hour as he goes across the start-finish line. So he's already got underway. But this battle of 4 bikes going into the hairpin is just as good racing as we've had all weekend. Skinner takes up on the inside, goes up on the inside. In fact, that's first place man there, 86, Chris Sutcliffe, has been relegated to 4th somewhere along the line. Relegated to 4th, tight race. Sorry? Oh, Philip Lowe, yeah, he was the fastest man on the track. I was saying his lap time might be confusing there as we're joined again by Dean Watson. Thank you, Dean. How's your day riding been?
Bit up and down, mainly down, unfortunately. But yeah, no, we've got a few positives out of the weekend, so we'll move forward to levels. And
so you're halfway between, or not quite halfway between, you're in Ashburton, so you can go home to mummy and daddy each night.
No, I've been staying up here. And just staying in the van saves a lot on travel costs, and I'll do the same at levels, and it's a great atmosphere at the track at night, so it's always good.
Oh, look at that. Philip Lowe runs wide on the corner before the dipper, runs wide, and that hands the lead over to, I think, is that Chris Sutcliffe?
No, that's actually Brent Cotton there on a 250.
Yeah,
so
still recognising colours, sorry, bud.
Yeah, so he's got a decent gap there. He might have been able to break the toe of this chasing group, so he may be right without getting too worried about slipstream down the straight. He is a bigger figure, so he will struggle a bit to push the win, but you see he's moving aside to try and break that toe. And we have Philip Lowe there in second, and then Chris Sutcliffe closely followed by in third, and then Paul Skinner out wide there in fourth.
Joey Ransom there in 5th place, the young guy from Rangiora on the 81 machine. So right now it was as of over the start-finish line with 3 laps to go. Brent Cotton, Philip Lowe, Chris Sutcliffe, Paul Skinner, Joseph Ransom, Joey Ransom, Luke Huddleston on bike 86. Then we had NZSBKR and Rory Hunt, Derek Pike, Matthew Hugenboosem on the first of the buckets, I think. In 10th spot on the number 10 bike, Mike Stein, Daryl Cotton, Phil Denovan, Logan Jackson, Oliver Cotton, Danny Brooker, our young lady, 25, Danny Brooker out there, Willie Nichols, Jacob Hugenboosem, and Graham Boyd. That's the top 19 riders there.
And just, we've got a good battle. It looks to be the first of the junior class, which Joseph Ransom and Luke Huddlestone in there. So they're both 250 runners, had a couple of races today and having another wee battle out there now. It looks like one of them is just goal. And we have a faller there at Fulton Hogan, just ran a bit wide and into the grass there. That might be...
The important thing is they're upright, yep. We'll try and get the binoculars onto them. Dean Watson, you know these guys more than me. That is Vanessa Woodley-Gill, unfortunately. Took out the New Zealand Grand Prix here, I think, 2 years ago. But the main thing is she's up and pushing her bike away. Now domiciled in Murchison. She's a Blenheim girl, went down to Christchurch and now up in Murchison and raced the Port Nelson street races. The slowest bike out there, but probably the biggest smile. And in tough conditions in the wet, she rode oh so well.
And just see how fast this class can change. Brent Cotton's lost his good gap and he's in third. And Philip Lowe now takes a lead with Chris Sutcliffe there in second, and Paul Skinner not worrying about his slipstream. He's obviously got pretty good confidence that his bike's got the power to push its own wind, and is out there on the high line.
2 4-strokes in the front, two strokes in second, third and fourth. We've got, no, they've changed. The Ninja 250 in the front, the 150 Honda in second place, the 250 Kawasaki in third, and the Kawasaki 150 2-stroke in 4th place. That is Paul Skinner, Joey Ransom, Luke Huddleston, Derek Pike, Matthew Hugenboosem, Rory Hum, Mike Stein, Daryl Cotton, Philip Denovan there, the top 12 bikes, with Vanessa Woodley-Gill dropping off the screen. So that puts Logan Jackson up into 13th spot there, Dean Watson.
There we go, yeah. Logan Jackson's a man from Fairley there, so he's got a wee way to travel this weekend, and he's on a bucket too, so he loses about 10 horsepower down on plus on the RG 150s and the Ninja 250s, so he's got a bit of work to make up in the corners, which is always fun trying to catch the...
Hang on. It's Neil Ritchie, our other commentators, in the next box with a bag of lollies. Bag of lollies in the water, and he's waving at us. Oh, mate. Anyway, back to the track. he deserves a break this weekend. Thank you for Dean Watson and those other people that have made an effort to come up and help us with the commentary, with their inside knowledge of the class.
Chris Sutcliffe's just down again. That would be his second crash, and he crashed there in the race yesterday.
He's upright.
The corner before, but he's upright, looking to be all right. He just ran wide, coming through the scope corner, the S's there, the left-hander of the S's, and whether he's just lost the front on the rumble strip coming in.
Well, that sucks for Saki. That's his nickname, that sucks for Saki, but the important thing is he's upright. He was the fastest man on the track with a 155.547, a 155.588 for Philip Lowe, and a 155.672 for Brent Cotton. The lead bikes go through, and there's the, well, I don't even know who is in second, but he looks over his shoulder the wrong way. And the other bike's gone past him now, though. In fact, he was a nose in front there. So right now, Philip Lowe leading, but Paul Skinner, the fastest man on the track, 0.4 of a second faster in that last lap. Cotton in third. Joey Ransom's gone up to fourth there with the retirement of Chris Sutcliffe, Luke Huddleston, Matthew Hugenboos in sixth, Derek Pike, Rory Hum there on 84 in eighth place, Daryl Cotton, Phil Denovan there, Mike Stein takes 11th spot with Logan Jackson coming through, and another battle coming on there. That's our lovely young lady, I think 25, and that is indeed Danny Brooker there. Great girl to have at the track in 13th spot, and other bikes come through while our screen comes through. Willie Nichols, Oliver Cotton, Graham Boyd, Jacob Hugenboosum. Goddard's back out there after losing part of her ponytail in a crash earlier today, and that was an interesting crash. She had a ponytail hanging out the back and skidded down the road, and leather severed almost all of the last bit of her ponytail, so they cut it off there. So that's a bit of hair growing going on, but if that's the biggest injury she got, that's great.
Good wee lunge there, tried by Philip Lowe into that left-hander of the S's on Paul Skinner, but he's managed to close the door there quite nicely, and although he's running a little bit wide.
White flag, this is the final lap.
Your final lap, so there'll be lots of last lap lunges, and see if anyone can get the slipstream across the line. With power, they'll be all trying to break this toe. Paul Skinner's got a decent gap coming along the line.
So is this the official New Zealand Grand Prix for this class, being not a championship class? There, do you know, Dean Watson? There it is,
not
check your
too
flag.
sure.
Yes, so it is the GP, but yeah, we know it's not a championship class. Thank you, Neil Ritchie. You've obviously chewed that bag full of lollies well. Anyway, Paul Skinner takes the win. Philip Lowe there in second place. And then we go down to Brent Cotton, Josie Ransom in fourth, Derek Pike, Matthew Hugenboosum on the bike number 10, was in 10th, but now he's up to 6th place. Somebody during the race, I remember 10 for 10. Luke Huddleston, Daryl Cotton, Phil Denham, Rory Hum, Mike Stein, and we're expecting Logan Jackson coming through there. Logan Jackson comes through there, and Danny Brooker is coming down the straight here on the 25 machine. In fact, that's 262 goes through. That is 262. Where is Danny?